What is good, everyone? Jerry Trades here, back with another video. Today we're just going to do our market recap. Today I took 4 trades, so it was kind of a lot of trades today, and I took 1 winner, 3 losers, so I ended up today red. But overall, I think my bias was really good. I played out the market really well. It's just that one of the times I decided to come get in, I got in at the wrong times, and my idea still played out. So you'll see that as we go on. So, to start the day, right, I was overall bullish, right, and I was bullish for a number of reasons. So yesterday, I was actually bearish, right, obviously, with the whole Wednesday drop, right. I was very bearish coming into the day, but I eventually switched my bias to bullish coming into New York session, right. So today was Thursday, right, so Thursday we had CPI today at 8:30, but let's just start over. Towards the start of the day. So in Q, right, we had SMT at previous day's low, right? So on ES, I can show you on ES. So on my right side, I had the higher time frame daily candles pulled up, and as you can see on ES, we have swept previous day's low. On ES, we have not. So that's the first thing, right? And then we have 1 hour change in state. So this fits the criteria of a possible reversal for the weekly candle, right? And as we know, December we are more range bound, so it is decently likely for us to have a later in the week reversal, right? And so we had a 1 hour fair value gap here, right? You can see there's a 1 hour fair value gap here, and we move higher, right? And so when we move higher, right, and as we look onto the 15-minute, we can start to see evidence of a bullish order flow, right? As you can see, bullish order flow. We're respecting bullish, right? We're respecting these bullish fair value gaps. We're disrespecting bearish fair value gaps, right? We're taking out highs, right? Now, coming into 8:30, we had CPI, right? And CPI expanded a lot, so this gave me narrative on, okay, so news expanded. Excuse me, but news expanded, right? And a lot of people were shorting, right? I've seen a lot of people who said that daily was bearish, right? And you could have traded this bearish leg, right? 9:30 moved lower, you could have traded it. But personally, I was bullish, right? And some people asked me, well, there was a 15-minute change in state, right? And we had higher time frame gap here, right? We had a higher time frame gap here. Why did you not short, right? So the reason why is narrative and overall understanding your daily structure, right? So we had 2 protected lows here. We had this daily protected low, right? And we also had this this midnight low, right? As you can see, a midnight trend lower into the 1 hour change in state. And we moved higher, giving us another 15-minute change in state. So this would be a protected low, and this would be a protected low. Now, how do we see that these protected lows are protected, right? As you can see, we trade away from them, right? And then CPI trades away from them as well. So it wouldn't make too much sense for us to reverse and come all the way back down, right? Because it was most likely to be a retracement, right? Understanding the daily candle, right? We have accumulation of the daily candle, we have the manipulation of the daily candle, and we have distribution. Distribution is our expansion phase, and in expansion phase there are retracements, right? And in distribution we expect the body of the candle to be made, so we're expecting retracement, right? So this supposed reversal could be a very likely retracement, right? It's more likely that this would be a retracement than not. If this was a reversal, I would want to see this low to get taken, because if this low gets taken, it's very probable this low gets taken, right? And even if you thought you were bearish, right, you would be wrong, or you will understand that your invalidation will be above the swing high, right? Because that should be protected, right? And clearly we didn't protect it. So that's basically the whole reason why we were bullish, right? As you can see, we have protected lows here, right? And we're expanding away from it. And then understanding your daily candle, right? We're in the distribution part of the leg move. So it's very unlikely that we get a full reversal, right? Especially when we're this, especially after we expanded this much, right? So my first 2 trades actually were basically on the same idea. So as you can see, we have a 15-minute fair value gap here, right? This is a 15-minute fair value gap. So we have a 15-minute fair value gap here, I think we do have a small volume imbalance. Yeah, we do have a small volume imbalance. So the correct annotation would be from this candle's high to this candle's low, right? Except for value gap. So the first two trades were basically off of the same idea, right? First trade, we tap into this fair value gap at 950 macro, right? So basically, almost at the start of 950 macro, we had the change in state delivery, and I was targeting this high and eventually this high, right? And I get stopped out, but then I found my idea was still valid because we took out this swing low, and then we got another change in state. I took some partials at 930, so this is 930 opening price, and then I got stopped out for break even on the rest of my runners, right? So obviously, and then I missed this trade. I would have taken this trade 100% if it came down to it. However, I was in class during the time and I didn't really have a chance. So we do have SMT at these lows, and this would have been a crazy trade, right? So, and then my next PM trades were on ES. So ES was a little bit more bullish at the time. So you can see we had a pretty nice lunch trade, and then we had these two trades, right? So we had these targets, right? We had a 5-minute unfilled fair value gap here, which I was looking at to get filled, and then we had a 5-minute high, which was also a higher day. First long was off a 5-minute fair value gap. I think no, it was a 15-minute fair value gap. My bad. So there's this large 15-minute gap that I was referencing throughout the majority of PM session, right? That was what I was looking for, and price tapped into it, and I expected this to be kind of a double purge setup, right? But we opened low, we opened high, right? I don't think we really traded into anything relevant, and I was also pretty bullish at the time still. So even though that we did open high and trade higher into these fair value gaps, I believe that this was just to engineer liquidity and for us to move higher, right? Kind of that double purge setup, right? So my first setup, I was quite early into the move. I took the inversion because the series of down close candles was too large, and then I got stopped out. And then for this trade, I did not take the inversion fair value gap because the series of down close candles was large enough to where I'm cool with putting that there. And then my second trade was during 205, kind of having that idea of us moving lower again to move higher. We get a little bit, we get pushed into a little bit of profit here, and then we get stopped out here. And then eventually during the final hour-ish PM session, we actually get the full reversal and we could target these highs. So once again, my idea was correct. I just got in at the wrong times, and that's okay, right? At least my idea played out at the very end, right? So that's basically it. I think I did really good today, even though I came out losing on the day. I think I followed my plan really well, and I got my bias correct, which is a big thing, right? Honestly, I'm pretty proud of what I did today, right? Even though I didn't get the win, right? I still got a good amount of lessons learned, and and overall my ideas were pretty much correct. So coming for Friday, there's two situations I could see, right? So I need to make this into candles actually. Oops. But coming into, we've been kind of range bound this week a little bit, right? Kind of been in this little range here. I'm bullish overall for tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be kind of a bullish day. Definitely will be a slower day, but definitely more bullish. Of course, Monday's high so has not been touched yet. So if we do get a daily profile supporting either this low or this low, I will be trading in the direction of that. Of course, since I'm more bullish as we expanded, right? I believe that we're going to move lower and then move higher, right? I think that's the more logical thing that we're going to do. But once again, we're going to see how the market plays out. If we do get a bearish daily profile and if we move higher and then lower, I could possibly see us maybe coming back down to take this low. But I truly believe that this could be a reversal and then for us to move higher, right? And once again, my validations just like on Wednesday, will be us taking out that protected low, right? Remember on Wednesday I talked about how I was originally bullish, right? Because we had a reversal on the previous day, right? And we moved higher, and then on this next day, our daily profile, which is our daily low, we moved higher, and then but then we took out our invalidation area, right? And we took out the protected low that we don't want price to get traded into. So that's my idea, right? So I expect that something similar could happen, but we're just going to see how the market plays out. So once again, just to kind of recap the day, right? I was originally bearish, right? But then since we got a reversal on the higher time frame, right, the 1 hour and the daily, right, we had SMT with previous day's low, we had the 1 hour change in state, and then we expanded higher, right, with news, right, CPI also expanded higher, and us not getting bullish order flow, and us not trusting this potential New York reversal. Why? Once again, right, we're more likely to get a retracement phase of price, right, because we're in the distribution, right? We have already expanded, so it's very logical for us to be in the distribution part of price, and we had a 15-minute gap left over from CPI, right? So it was much more probable for us to move higher, right? Because in order for us to be truly bearish, these lows would have to be taken, and since we expanded so much higher, it's very unlikely that we take these, right? So once again, just kind of react how price is going, right? See where we're trading off of, where we should protect, and what areas that if taken or if mitigated tells us that price is no longer in line with our bias. So hope you guys learned something. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.